Let's be honest for a moment. Have you ever been in the middle of a sentence or telling a story about an old friend and suddenly, poof, the name is gone, just a complete and utter blank? Your brain scrambles, grasping for the word, the name, the memory. For most of us, it's a funny, slightly embarrassing senior moment. We laugh it off, blame it on a long week or not enough coffee, and move on. But what if you couldn't just laugh it off? What if that simple, frustrating blank felt less like a glitch and more like a terrifying warning? A shadow of something you've spent your life dreading. For beloved television host Ruth Langsford, this isn't a hypothetical. At 65, this is her terrifying new reality. The familiar face who has welcomed us into her mornings for years is now sharing a deeply personal fear, and it's one that will hit home for millions. Ruth is frightened, and not just a little worried. She is truly, deeply frightened for her future, and it all stems from a cruel history that has already stolen so much from her family. The cruel timeline. In a painfully candid interview with The Mirror this weekend, Ruth opened up about the fear that follows her into those senior moments. All the time, literally all the time, if I ever have a senior moment where I go, what's her name again? Somebody that I know quite well, and I have a complete and utter blank, it really frightens me, she confessed. This isn't simple anxiety. This is a fear born from experience. Ruth's family tree is shadowed by dementia. Her beloved father, Dennis, was diagnosed with Alzheimer's and tragically passed away from complications of the disease in 2012. As if that single blow wasn't devastating enough, the disease returned. Ruth's mother, Joan, now 94, is also living with a dementia diagnosis. Ruth is now standing at a chilling crossroads. I'm 65 now, she explained, laying out the brutal math of her fear. My dad was officially diagnosed when he was 72, but looking back on it, we think he was displaying signs, we just didn't know what they were. But he was in his late 60s and I'm 65. Let that sink in. Ruth has just entered the exact window of time when her father's own journey into the fog began. Every forgotten name, every misplaced item, isn't just a senior moment. It's a potential symptom. It's a what-if that must feel deafening. The doubly hard heartbreak. For Ruth and her family, her mother Joan's diagnosis wasn't just a second wave of tragedy. It was something far more painful. It was a path they had already walked, one they knew every heartbreaking step of. It's very upsetting when your loved one is given that diagnosis, Ruth told Hello! Magazine back in August. For my family, we found that doubly hard as my dad had Alzheimer's, so we knew what was ahead for us and my mom. There's no hopeful ignorance. There's no comforting maybe it won't be so bad. They know exactly what's coming. They've seen the script and they know the devastating ending. They know the stages, the loss, and the slow, agonizing goodbye that dementia forces on a family. It's a special kind of cruelty to have to watch the same tragedy unfold twice, all while carrying the intimate knowledge of the heartbreak yet to come. A daughter's grief. My mom was losing the love of her life. Ruth's love for her parents is a tangible thing. We've seen it for years. But back in 2017, she gave us a truly unguarded look into the reality of her family's pain. While discussing her dad's death on Loose Women, Ruth broke down, and it wasn't just for her own loss. It was for her mother's. I was grieving and losing my dad, she explained, her voice thick with emotion, but my mom was losing the love of her life, the man she married and had children with. She spoke of the years and years of memories they shared, and how that side of the story, the grief of the partner left behind, is so rarely discussed. When my dad went into care, my mom was so distraught. She trailed off, the professionalism she's known for melting away, revealing the raw grief of a daughter watching her mother's world collapse. I'm sorry, she whispered, wiping away tears. You do hope, but you know they probably won't get better. I'm sorry, she said again, trying to regain her composure. Sometimes I just can't talk about it. It's thinking about my mom, that side of it that gets to me. That moment was, and still is, a powerful reminder that behind the cameras and the bright studio lights, Ruth is a daughter, just like so many of us, navigating the impossible. Living in the now. Today, Ruth's relationship with her mother, Joan, is one of precious, borrowed time. The fear she has for her own future is mirrored by the anticipatory grief she faces every time she visits her mom. At the moment, Mom knows who I am, she always recognizes me and is very happy to see me, Ruth shared, clinging to the positive. But her next words carry the weight of her family's history. "I know that that could change at any time. It did with my dad, and that is heartbreaking." Can you imagine living with that knowledge, knowing that every hello and every moment of recognition is a gift that could be the last? It's a grief in slow motion, bracing yourself for the day your own mother might look at you with a stranger's eyes. This is the crushing weight Ruth carries, a future she fears, a past she grieves, and a present that is fragile and precious. And yet, after laying all this bare, after sharing the fear that haunts her daily, Ruth leaves us with a sentiment that is equal parts resignation and profound strength. "Of course, I worry about it with both parents having had dementia," she admits. "But I just think, what will be will be." It's not giving up. It's a form of radical acceptance. It's the only way she can move forward without letting the fear of what might happen rob her of the life she has right now. In sharing this, Ruth has done more than just give an interview. She has given a voice to the silent fear of millions. To every person watching an aging parent and wondering, "Is that me next?" To everyone in the sandwich generation, caught between caring for their parents and worrying about their own future. Ruth's vulnerability is her strength, and it makes us feel just a little less alone in our own fears.